Hello everyone, so today we'll be going over the Passe composé and the Imparfait. We'll be doing a quick review of the conjugations and the differences in the uses of these two conjugations, or of these two different tenses. Now there are two verbs in the Passe composé, the auxiliary verb and the past participle. There are two auxiliary verbs, être and avoir. Être is to be, avoir is to have. The auxiliary verb is conjugated in the present tense, and it matches the subject in person and number. Être is used with verbs that indicate a change of state or location. So, aller, venir, devenir, arriver, descendre, all of those use être because they all are a change of location, aller, to go, venir, to come, or they are a change of state verb, like devenir, to become, mourir, to die, naître, to be born. If être is used, remember that the past participle must agree the subject in gender and number. That means adding an extra e on the end of the past participle if the subject is feminine, and then if the subject is plural, then you add an s to the end of the past participle. Avoir is used for all of the other verbs. So here's just a quick review of how to conjugate être and avoir, and then to create the past participle. So most verbs in French end in er. That's the most common verb, is er verb. So you would just take an e with an accent and replace the er with that e. And there are plenty of irregulars for the past participles, like these. Some of them have kind of a pattern, so like apprendre, comprendre both end in re, and they end in appris, or they end in is, so appris and compris. And then ir verbs, some of them end in u, like venir and devenir, become devenu and venu. For imparfait, there is only one verb used, unlike passé composé, where it uses two. To conjugate a verb in the imparfait, you take the first person plural form of the present tense, so the new form. You take off the ons, and you use the remainder of the verb as your stem. So for parler, the stem would be parle. Then you would add the appropriate ending that matches the subject in person and number. So here are the imparfait endings. So if you were using parler, it would become parler, parler, parler. Parlions, parliez, parler. The only exception in the imparfait is with être. The stem for être is et, with an e with an accent on it, and then you would just add the appropriate ending. So the uses and differences between these two past tenses. The passé composé is a finished action in the past. So the boy threw the ball. It's done, it's finished, it's in the past, and it's finished. So it's a specific action, or it's also used for specific actions, a succession of specific actions. And passé composé is basically it's the main storyline, what happened in the past. And the imparfait is used for unfinished actions in the past. So actions that are ongoing, are going for a certain amount of time in the past. So the boy was throwing the ball. That's unfinished. It's also used for background actions, habitual actions, and it basically just describes what used to be or what was happening. So habits versus specific actions. Passé composé is used to express a specific action in the past. So for example, hier j'ai joué au foot. Yesterday I played soccer. So at one specific time, yesterday, I played soccer. It's done, it's finished in the past. Imparfait is used to express habitual actions in the past. And there are usually marker words that indicate that the action is habitual, like toujours, which means all the time or always, tous les jours, every day, toutes les semaines, every week, all the words that are like that that indicate that it's some sort of habit that happens on a normal basis. So, for example, je jouais au foot toujours. I played or I was playing soccer all the time. So this is a habit. It's an unfinished action in the past because it's describing several times that you were playing soccer. So in telling a story, the passé composé is used for the actions in the storyline, the specific actions. You can think of these actions as the skeleton of the story. They hold the story up. Without the skeleton, it would just be a mush on the ground. So they're the actions that are just the basic, essential actions of the story. And they are usually expressions of time that indicate the passé composé, like these here. Some like soudain or tout à coup or tout de suite are like suddenly, which indicate that there is an action that follows that is a one-time specific action. The imparfait, on the other hand, is used for the background of the story and is used to set the scene. You can think of the imparfait actions as the flesh of the story. They give the side information, the details. Imparfait is used for the date, the time of day, weather, the scene, and basically just what people were doing outside of, like behind, in the background of the basic story, the basic actions, the passé composé actions. The imparfait is also used for age, appearance, physical traits and conditions, feelings, and attitudes. And it's used for these things because typically these are usually things that are happening over a period of time in the past. So these two tenses can also be used in the same sentence. So the imparfait describes ongoing background actions. These actions began before the specific action and may continue after. The passé composé describes a specific action that took place at a specific time while the background action, the imparfait, was going on. So an example would be, il est venu pendant que ses enfants dormaient. He came while his kids were sleeping. So in this sentence, he came is the passé composé because it is the specific action that takes place while the background action is going on. And the background action is his kids sleeping, because that goes on before and after. It's not finished in the past, it's ongoing. Sometimes the same tense is used for two actions if they have the same length. So two actions that went on for a longer period of time would be in the imparfait. An example would be, je mangeais pendant qu'ils étudiaient. I was eating while they were studying. So it's ongoing in the past, and it hasn't finished, and it's just going on for a longer period of time. And then two specific shorter actions would use the passé composé. An example would be, j'ai fini mes devoirs et j'ai mangé une banane. I finished my homework and ate a banana. And these two actions are specific, and they're both finished in the past, and that's why they use the passé composé. And that is it for today. I want you to be thinking about a story from your past, your childhood, that can use the passé composé and imparfait, because we'll be writing those in class this week. Alright, have a good rest of your weekend.